Hi everyone, welcome back to Rachel's Enchanting Cakes, and today we are going to be making this super cute yet super easy Easter bunny cake topper complete with chocolate eggs. This is perfect for any new or beginner baker as only simple shapes are used and a very limited amount of baking equipment. As always, I guide you through everything in a simple step-by-step format. There are now 140 completely free tutorials on the channel with new ones added on a regular basis, so be sure to check them out. Shall we make a start? I think we should. Start by covering a cake drum the size of your choice with some green rolled out fondant. So if you're doing an 8-inch cake, maybe use a 7-inch cake drums just so you've got a little bit of leeway. This will allow you to place this directly on the cake and it can easily be removed to actually cut into the cake. Simply smooth out the fondant with a smoother and cut off any excess. Before we make the Easter bunny, we now need to add the chocolate eggs. You can add as many as you want to the cake drum. I just apply a little bit of fondant to help them stick there. And if you want them at an angle, like the one just behind the Easter bunny's head, simply place some fondant just underneath it so it can be leaned at an angle. Make sure you leave enough room for the Easter bunny to be able to lean against your chocolate egg. For the Easter bunny's body, take a small amount of soft white fondant, roll this into a cone shape and then place it directly onto the cake drum with part of it leaning against the chocolate egg where the head will actually go. And just place it into position and then shape with your hands whilst it is on the cake drum. Repeat this process for the head, again rolling a very small cone shape this time, and then place it directly onto the body, leaning up against the chocolate egg. In order to add the arms, simply roll out 2 sausage shapes and then place them again directly onto your Easter bunny. In order to make the bunny's feet, start with a small piece of white fondant, roll this into a ball and then push it down gently onto your surface. This is where you can manipulate the shape, and using just a cocktail stick, place 2 indentations in there just to add a little bit more detail for the bunny's toes. Taking 2 very small balls of white fondant, place these at the base of the bunny's face. Take a small amount of orange fondant and roll this into a cone-like shape. This is going to be your Easter bunny's carrot. Then using the cocktail stick, just add some indentations just like you can see on this footage. Now take a very small amount of green fondant. Start by rolling this into a ball and then push it down. You want 3 in total, and using again the cocktail stick, add some indentations once you've made it a leaf sort of shape and add this directly to the top of the carrot near the bunny's mouth. Taking a very small amount of pink fondant, I now add the bunny's nose directly to the cake and just use a Dresden tool to push this down slightly. You then want to roll out some balls and add these to the bunny's feet, both to the centre and where the toes are. To make the rabbit's ears, I start with 2 balls of white fondant and I simply push them down into ear-like shapes. I then use the 2 balls of pink fondant that you can see in this footage, place them directly on top of the ears, push them down, and I just do everything with my hands. These are then applied directly to the Easter bunny cake topper so they are leaning against the egg. Because they are leaning against the egg, you do not need to use modelling paste. I now add a bow using this Karen Davis mould. Do not worry if you don't have a mould. The bow is not a necessity. You could always make a handmade one if you want to. But these moulds are very easy to use. You just push in your fondant or modelling paste, simply release it from the mould and place directly on the bunny's head. For the last finishing touches, I have 2 very small balls of black fondant for the eyes, and then I simply add a very, very, very thin sausage shape for each eyebrow. And here I just roll out a few simple cone shapes for the hair. It really is as simple as that. Obviously, to place this on a cake, you would dowel the cake first, but it just means that the whole of the topper, no matter how big those Easter eggs are that you choose to use, it can easily be removed. The eggs can be eaten and enjoyed, and then you can just cut into your cake. Happy baking, everyone. I hope I've helped you again today, and I'll be back soon with more new, completely free content.